Hey everybody, welcome back to Quali-Tea time. Okay, yeah, we're late on this one. I recognize that. It's been an interesting week. So the first and most obvious piece of news, of course, is Various Oddities. It is not out yet. It's been delayed by quite a ways, I grant. Turns out my graphics code is even harder to interpret than it is to actually get to work. Yeah, sorry about that. Small surprise, graphics programming nearly cost me my degree. The latest update that I have is that some stuff's getting refactored, moved around, made it work a bit more smoothly and such, and it will hopefully be, well, that code will hopefully be ready for a release this coming week, potentially this weekend. It comes out when that code is done. That's the most absolute deadline I can give. Hopefully we see it. But otherwise, I am actually out of things to code on my end. Like there's no more pieces to put in. There's no more UIs and such. So for the moment, I'm just chucking in any different aesthetic and mechanical blocks I can come up with for adding flair to dungeons and whatnot. So we've got the braziers, we've got the sconces, we've got a bit of moss now, we've got some glowing mushrooms and all sorts, and if I think of any more before release, then they'll go in as well, but for the time being, that's what I got, and you'll see that in the most recent Various Oddities showcase. Now I have two stories for you. Oh. So story the first. The missing tax return. Now, I do have a bit of a history of filing my tax returns late, mostly because who likes filing tax returns, really? I now actually have a Excel sheet on my desktop that is year by year for filing my tax return. So I know if I filed a tax return because that file is created on the day that I file it. I got a letter recently saying that my tax return was overdue. So I'm very confused because I can see the 2018 file sitting on my desktop, so I know categorically that I've filed it. The letter isn't about the 2018 file, the most recent filing, it's for the one before that. Which is still confusing because I also have the 2017 file on my desktop. They're right there, they're visible for my, basically every single time you see my desktop, they're right there, bottom right. Okay, I'm confused. So I call up and I ask, and it turns out they have no record of the 2017 tax filing. So they're fining me. And the letter I got was to say that they'd fined me at least £300. I talked to them a bit more on the phone, and it turns out the main ways that you can resolve this is first you have to file the tax return so they actually have it now, and then you also have to contest or appeal the fine to try and get that lifted or ameliorated or whatever. Okay. I was told at the time that you had to do that in writing. Turns out you can do that online, so hey, there's that. So I go through. Filing the tax return at that stage is really, really easy, because I already have the file that tells me all the numbers I have to put in. I file my tax returns online. So when you fill out a form in Google Chrome, it remembers what you put in all the little fields. My Google Chrome knew the 2017 numbers to put into this tax return filing. So there is categorically no way that I did not file this tax return. Eventually, however, and I say eventually because their website actually bugged out for about 2 days, not letting me actually submit this thing. Eventually, I file it, and I get a new letter telling me exactly how much they think I owe them. £450. Because they think the tax return wasn't filed for, a year plus. That's story 1. Would you like to know story 2? To give you a great idea of how competent our government apparently is, story 2 is the missing universal credit. So we've had this big problem for like the past 3+ months that we are presently on universal credit, and it is laughably small. We get about 120, 150-ish a month between us, whereas previously on working tax credits I was getting about 230 just to me. We got a letter recently, as we seem to do quite frequently, judging by these stories, to say they've recalculated things and they've figured out that they've actually been underpaying us by about £500 a month. Which might explain why we are struggling to eat the past few months, as well as all manner of other things. By the by, thank you very much to everybody who has donated and chipped in to help out. It has been immensely appreciated, and I cannot thank you enough for helping us survive. I am looking for work. There's been about 3 jobs I could have applied to, so yeah, that's not going anywhere anytime soon. But on top of saying that they're going to finally put our numbers where they should be, Universal Credit also is going to back pay us, apparently. So that's somewhere in the region of £1,400 that they owe us, that they're going to be giving us in one lump sum. Half of that would be intensely appreciated right about now, but just as a little, like, nail in the coffin here, they don't give that to us immediately. Oh no. It goes through the debt collection department first to see if there's anything outstanding that we owe them that they can take out of this underpayment. Meaning, that 450 quid from the missing tax return that wasn't will probably be taken out of the underpayments of Universal Credit. Now, again, 700 would be fine for us. Like, we'd be happy just to have that. That would make a dramatic difference to our lives right now. But, you know, I feel like on principle, I'd very much like to have the full 1,400 at this point. So I'll be contesting that fine, and we'll be getting whatever much we do, and I think Fuzz is, like, dramatically infused. They want to go and, like, check out some Final Fantasy restaurant in Manchester for July. That'd be fun. Be nice to have a trip. That's the stories that I have for you this week. And, oh boy, who knows where this place is gonna go with the next Prime Minister that we end up that we didn't vote for, who's a complete idiot. We've had 3 of those so far, so who knows? Oh yes, and we are currently in the midst of a heat wave, so that's why I'm over here, because it's nice and sunny and blowing me the heck out on the right-hand side of my face here. It's nice and sunny weather, so I have reached that point where I'm very glad that most of my newer wardrobe is pretty much summer-oriented. Yay. But other than that, I have a haircut appointment booked, so my hair is going to get a bit more of a trim, get a bit tidied up, because my bang is getting quite irritatingly long. It's also going to get its colour put back in, because the roots are... I'm not happy with the roots right now. But in addition to that, I'm going to get the actual tail dyed a little bit as well. So you'll see what that colour looks like on Thursday's stream, most likely. And with that, onto the schedule. On Friday nights at 9 PM BST, we have Friday Night with Dead by Daylight. Then on Saturday at 7 PM BST, we have Dungeons & Dragon Hats at twitch.tv/thedragonhat, with news of Lady Valorai's proclivities. Will the trio stick around, or flee once again? Followed, of course, by the Carousel at 9 PM, in which we are doing some more singing. And lastly of the week, on Tuesday at 9 PM BST, we have Building Blocks, where we're coding Minecraft mods live on camera, potentially some more dungeony blocks. And videos you might have missed for the week. We have an instance of Dailies by Daylight, where Amanda is on the hunt for truffles. And we have a Various Oddities showcase, showing off some of the new blocks for ambiance and sneakery. And on to the questions. You know the drill. If you have anything to ask me, put it in the comment section down below. We'll see if it gets answered next week. Our questions of the week come from Princess Firefly. Which of your series are your roleplay-like series? That is, I think in rough sequence here, Never Expedition, Carpenter Station, Chaos Spill Season 1 and 2, Witch in the Woods, Yokai Temple, Night of Fangs, and technically Evil. Nearly dropped my tea there. Casually Ironic Knight asks, how do you cope with falling short of your ambitions? Oi, that's... I don't usually get such deep questions here, but okay. The reality is, I don't. I constantly beat myself up at the mere recollection that I've managed to fall short of completing a project. Part of why I still want to get, Haunting finished, I guess. Part of why it took me so long to get the return done. Part of why I am so, like... why I don't like it when people bring up a series that I haven't managed to finish. It's because I constantly beat myself up about that. And I've struggled for years to make goals that I can reliably achieve. So sometimes I've fallen... frequently, more often than not, I have picked an objective that is so high and grandiose that I have no capacity of actually meeting it. That has allowed me to at least to step up to the plate on occasion, but usually way past the deadline. And in other cases, I've set deadlines and challenges and objectives and stuff that were so low that there wasn't really enough success involved in them for me to really appreciate. So coding something is a frequent example of that. I've coded a lot of things that are miraculous and wonderful to many people who aren't me. So, yeah. The main way that I try and overcome the sort of anxiety and depression from, not achieving my goals in some fashion is use that drive to make better goals. Figure out my limits from where I have achieved and where I have just not, and try and address my, goals that way. So I know I can do X, Y, and Z, factor in doing X, Y, and Z simultaneously, and from there determine exactly what it is I can do. I'm still not great about it, honestly, but the reality is, no matter how much I fail, I'll never succeed if I don't keep at least trying. So... beyond that, they say time heals all wounds. The human memory is not that long, so you might feel awful about not meeting a given goal today, but a week, a month, a year down the line, you'll be doing other stuff, and you might just be doing even better at them. And that's all I have for this week, so apologies for the camera, because it appears to be jumping about where I'm looking. Hopefully you'll get to see my brand new hair color next week. Of course, I'm having it on the Wednesday, so I will have filmed the vlog, hopefully, by the time I've done that. So, again, you'll most likely see it on the Thursday stream. But, other than that, and hopefully with no more letters and such, hope you've all enjoyed.